Welcome to This Week in Jump, Part 3. Next up, we have Hell Warden Higuma. We're still in this flashback with Higuma and his father and aunt growing up, and Higuma really wants this, video game.
Looks like Yokai Watch.
Yeah, kind of like a small creature-esque kind of 3DS game.
That's overpriced. That's $50, or like $55 US or something like that. Because it's like 5,880 yen. Sorry, I had to point that out.
Yeah, which is really expensive. But they're just kind of arguing with each other. Like this little boy is arguing with the full-grown adult in kind of like tantrum mode.
Mm-hmm.
The auntie is really just staring at them like just be quiet. Like, you want me to buy it for him? Like, no, that's not the problem. Like, he doesn't need this. Like,
you're teaching him bad lessons.
Yeah, you're teaching him bad lessons. Like, no, like you're teaching him incorrectly as well. Like, by yelling at him and having a screaming match with your son. Like, how is he going to have any respect for you like that? So then, he gives them an ultimatum. I'll buy you this game, but you have to follow me on the next time that I'm at work. They're like, I don't want the game then.
I'm gonna buy it!
Yeah, I'm gonna buy you this game! Like, no, don't buy me this game then, no! Like, it's such a small part of this page. I wish it was bigger. Just because it's so funny. That corner is so funny. But we have Higuma's father. I don't have his name on
Azuma.
Azuma. And his aunt.
Haruma. I have it for a reason.
Yeah. These are Hell Wardens. They are. It looks like they're taking care of a temple, the temple that Higuma currently resides in.
Correct.
And they're talking about Lord Enma and Higuma's kind of training, where he really isn't afraid. He's just taking it as, his dad's work, his aunt's work. Not really realizing that he is destined to be a Hell Warden as well, and that he has a duty to uphold. And we get some insight on why his family are all Hell Wardens. Because their family, several generations ago, made a huge mistake. They're the ones who, I believe,
released the old man.
Released the old man and filled the world with demons.
Yeah, the cursed spirits.
Yeah, the cursed spirits.
So many things have demons and cursed spirits. It's one and the same. Oops.
And
one other thing. Sorry. If Higuma doesn't do this, he'll go to hell. Like, they have to become Hell Wardens or go to hell when they die.
They have to die in the line of duty for the best, for the greater good. For the greater good, and so their afterlife, because they know there is an afterlife, they want it to be good.
Mm-hmm.
But Haruma states that Higuma's going to be 10 soon, so you know what's going to happen. You know who's going to come after you. And we get a small little snippet of the molten copper spirit that is
currently fighting
Higuma, and we don't know where that's going to end. But then we get a side-by-side shot of two Hell Wardens, and I love the outfit, and seeing it on a girl as well. Like, it fits.
It's a unisex uniform,
it's a unisex
really.
uniform, and it looks great. Higuma is actively talking with Lord Enma, thinking that it's a bit too much, like that what you're asking to do, because he has seen firsthand that these spirits are quite literally crying that they don't want to go back to hell. They are in pain. It's like, why are we doing this? Like, this is bad. Like, you're taking it too far. Just let them go out. Like, oh well, you want them to keep stealing life force from people? Like, no, like they should go back, but we shouldn't hurt them. And Lord Emma is really trying to give Higuma, like bare facts, and Emma is really being understanding of
Higuma's
his worries
wishes.
and his wishes.
But he's not gonna budge from that position.
Yeah, I like never like Lord Emma says, you're not right or wrong. Like those kinds of ideas that you have, like keep them to your heart and protect them. Like don't ever change them. Like still being, this child still has a righteous heart, and Lord Emma is trying to make him keep that. Kind of like a teacher, but there's some underlying tones there for sure.
And we learn why the interactions between Enma and Higuma are the way they are by his dad.
Yeah, they've been like this forever.
Because Enma's a manifestation that they can recognize as being a person,
Yeah.
but really Enma is
A
that
web.
entire area.
Yeah, Emma is essentially
Basically
the domain.
The bridge.
In this case of relating this to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, King Yama is this entity that sits at a desk and judges souls, whereas the path, the snake path, and the clouds is essentially like a purgatory kind of state for spirits. Lord Enma is one and the same. This place that they're going to is neither heaven or hell. It is just a place for Lord Enma to manifest himself as something that
Can actually interact with the Hell Wardens.
Yes. And it's really neat. But how do you really relate when you're some supreme being such as this and the humans? Like, how can you really relate to them?
I don't feel like he does. He kind of just listens to them and tells them almost what they want to hear. Just so that way they're appeased. But even Higuma's dad tells him, when we die, he will not shed a tear for us.
Yeah. Like, we are
basically
like
expendable.
Yeah, they are expendable. But why haven't they just said, "Oh, I don't want to have any children"? What if Hell Wardens need to be had, at least for Higuma's line, correct?
Correct.
The molten copper spirit wants to kill Higuma and Getsu wanted him dead as well, so he doesn't want his prey stolen from him. So he's going to kill Emma. The copper spirit is going to kill Higuma.
Which will end the line.
Exactly.
Prematurely.
Will Lord Enma send a emissary to come and save Higuma? It's like, your bloodline hasn't repaid its debt yet. You can't die. Maybe the teacher...
Itomi isn't dead, though. Unless we're talking about just the main line.
The main line.
Well, I would almost say that also, like, it seems like anybody associated with them is also a Hell Ward. Like, Itomi, like, looks like a businessman, but he also has, like, Hell Warden abilities. So I would think that as long as somebody in their family tree, even if it isn't the main line, can still be the successor. It's just like how Neji's dead. Well,
But-
Neji wasn't the main line.
No.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's interesting where this is going to go forward, because on an offshoot we have, Lord Enma he won't shed a tear for us. He really just tells us what to do, and we have to do it. There's really no way out of it. He is the boss.
Yep.
So there really is only one way that Haruma has really seen as a way out. That is to ally herself with spirits, with Engetsu, to destroy Lord Enma. Your penance essentially will have been paid then. If the person you owe is no longer there, your debt has been paid. And I think this is
Where that's heading.
Engetsu corrupting Haruma. Also, I can see later on, this is just speculation, Haruma coming back to the living world from hell
As a curse.
as a cursed spirit. Coming back as maybe a smoke monster because she was smoking and was told not to.
She's a smoker.
Wild speculation, but
Fair.
I would like to see. Next up, we have Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen has been really good the past couple of chapters. So, right off the bat, we start off with the villains, I guess. We have Hinami, Hanami, who we thought was dead. Actually,
They couldn't confirm if he was dead.
yeah, they couldn't tell if he was exorcised or not. He's half gone, is what he is. And we have the leader just saying, "Oh, good work," patting them on the back and like on the shoulder.
Well,
It's-
Mahito is still like a second tier because there's still Geto. Suguru Geto is the basically the Aizen of the group. And then you have all of these, which are basically like the Espada. You have Hanami and Mahito, which are basically like the Espada, and then this person would be like just an Arankar. Think of it as a hierarchy. You have like your tertiary, secondary, and primary.
Yeah.
Primary being Geto in this case, the
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, and in this case, we have secondary and mostly tertiary kind of,
The human with the hand sword.
yes,
That's tertiary.
which is the dude. Hanami he's so disheveled. But what they went to go get were cursed objects. These were more fingers that they were hiding, as well as other cursed objects, one of which being the death painting wombs.
Numbers one, so there's 3 of them
Yeah.
they got.
So we were right. They did have other parts that they didn't want to give to Itadori just right away. I was right on that part. I was wrong to think that they had like hands and like legs, but still having other parts was right on the money. And these other cursed objects, I have no idea what they're going to do.
Me neither.
But then we have a sidebar with some other villains. These might be secondary.
Geto, this is Geto.
Oh,
Geto has the crosses on his head and the stitch lining.
yeah, and the gauges in his ear.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, I believe, a secondary tier
Mm-hmm.
and the molten lava spirit.
Yeah, the one who fought Gojo.
Yeah, and I'd say he lost.
Yeah, well, Infinite Void.
Yeah,
He's
but he's able to get away. They go over their plan, essentially how they could go about it and how they did. Whereas if they keep Gojo out, then
he stays focused on that
yeah.
and allows them to actually get their plan accomplished.
Yeah. Whereas if they kept him in and everyone else out, it's most likely the others will be strong enough to notice and to take care of the infiltration.
See, I would say that he's so strong that he would have just gone in there and just bodied them instantly. So that's why they didn't let him go in there. They kept him preoccupied and interested in that. He can't kill anybody if he can't get in.
This is akin to like a Nen power, where Kurapika was able to make special abilities that only worked on the Phantom Troop.
Mm-hmm.
They're really strong, but they literally can't do anything else to anyone else.
No.
This is everyone in the world, or anything in the world, can go in except for a single person. So I think that kind of criteria is
why he wasn't able to go in.
Well, see, he wasn't able to go in, and he wasn't able to. He didn't try to force his way through, because it might have that stipulation to where it might actually be strong and be able to actually hurt him or even kill him if he tried. Going over their plan is great. We see this wasn't a spur of the moment. Let's go in, a smash and grab. No, this was calculated. This was highly calculated. And one of their allies was able to get caught. Axeman, also known as
Juzo. Sorry.
Juzo. They currently have him as
They just have him like basically incarcerated, and they're asking him questions.
yeah, not letting really no interrogating him as much as they possibly can. There's more talk with the old man, as well as the director, I believe, and one of the teachers.
You could just say it's basic. I would say it's just the higher ups for
for the
their
temple.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it.
Yeah, and they go over a casualty report, which I thought was a very nice touch to the carnage that we did not see.
They gave you a debriefing, and then they tell you how many casualties there were. There were 11 total, telling you like each type of person that was taken out.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of people that are skilled, except for the storage attendants.
All they get out of Juzu is that he was hired by a monk kid with white hair, and he couldn't determine whether it was male or female. And you see them that apparently they were there the entire time with Geto in the background in some of the flashbacks. And apparently this has to do with Tengen-sama's barrier. I don't recall a Tengen-sama being introduced.
Me neither.
Other than in this chapter. Apparently he has immortality, but it's akin to... They say it's like a tree, so it's not immortal youth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just is able to live. And you had the curses, like, speculate on whether... who is stronger, Gojo or Tengen.
Mm-hmm.
But... Gojo mentions the fact that Tengen's barrier hides rather than protects. And that it was, in the end, it weakened in one place once infiltrated. It's weak when once infiltrated, sorry. And that it's not up for them to decide whether the students should know or not, but they probably should tell them, just so they know what they're up against, rather than being in the dark.
Yeah, an unknown enemy is much more dangerous than something you can plan for. Someone you can outsmart, someone you can outplay.
Then we go back to our trio.
Yeah. You have Itadori,
Megumi, and Nobara. Hanging out, having some pizza.
Yeah, just relaxing after, a attack on their living space and essentially school in this case. Like, okay. Yeah,
it was the Goodwill event. That's what Gojo called it. Was a Goodwill event.
Yeah, because it was another school as well. Just
because they went over to that other school.
Yeah, to fight. And what's his name?
Megumi.
Megumi is just gives Itadori his props. He told him, like, you've gotten stronger. You've definitely grown just from this
Encounter?
encounter.
But he'll get stronger too.
But I'll get stronger too, and I'll be better, and I'll surpass you. It's like, oh yeah, I'll like that. And Toto shows up out of nowhere. It's like, my brother's friends, they're so nice. And Itadori just books it out of there. It's like,
brother, come back.
like, oh crap. Like, oh, like I need to get out of here.
I guess Toto somehow made it in his mind where they went to junior high together. Mental gymnastics. And out of left field, we have a baseball game at the end that's going to be played.
Yeah, it has Maki and some other characters.
Miwa. Miwa is the girl that's introduced wearing the batter's helmet and the one that's up to bat. But yeah, you're right about Maki.
Yeah.
Left field! Baseball jokes.
Oh, so great. Hey. Alright, in the number 2 slot, we have The Promised Neverland.
Yes.
We have Norman contemplating what he was just told by his 2 friends that he absolutely will risk his life for. He has been risking his life for. And he's contemplative. But he needs to go back to work. He needs to get these plans in action. He needs to relay to his other team what he just learned. Because information is the powerhouse of this team. Cicero, Barbara, and
Vincent.
Along
Zazi's
with
there,
Zazie.
but
He's not there for information. He's there to be protective. But we have them all together.
Sorry, I have to say this. Zazi's the Silent Swordsman.
Like
Yu-Gi-Oh! Silent Swordsman.
Oh, yeah.
I'm making a Yu-Gi-Oh! joke, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so we see them gather together down a lot of stairs to their meeting room, which is different from the meeting room upstairs. This is their
Actual meeting room
where they have chained up and pierced a huge demon. They have slowly been, cutting into it, holding it back, just so that I think they can relieve some stress. I think.
You don't think it was for research purposes? To test their durability?
It could be. Also, with some missing fingers, I think this might be where Barbara got the finger that she was eating.
Was it a finger? I thought it was a leg.
It was big enough to where it looks like it could be a leg.
You might be right.
Yeah, this thing looks atrocious. It looks in pain. It has another arm. It has several appendages. It's beautifully disgusting.
It makes me think of Lilith from Neon Genesis Evangelion, except poked and prodded a whole lot more instead of just having a spear in it.
Yeah. Also akin to the Titans that were being held for experiments.
Bahanji.
Yeah. Bean,
and I don't remember what the other one's name was.
Bean was the one that I cared about. So the group asked, what did they want to talk about?
Many things.
Yeah, but the main thing is that they don't want the demons exterminated. They kind of already had a inkling that that's what it was. What changes? Like, they're changing you. Like, you're different around them. Like, are they influencing you? Or do they have something on you? Like, what could it possibly be? Like, are you still on our side? Are you still our boss? Because, like, I will never stray from that path. He reassures them that he will be there for them, and that Barbara kind of gets really angry and says, demons aren't nice. Demons are atrocious. They are quite literal demons.
You have a 4-panel flashback showing a progression of all of the things that have happened to her. And in summary, you can see her being a young child, then leaving, then being stuck at the place where they're experimenting on Lambda, and then her going to an even more panic state at the same facility at Lambda.
Yeah. Is that Cicero with her when they're leaving?
When they're leaving, I honestly don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. His eyes kind of
are
similar, but I really don't know.
But then it sends her into
a panic,
a splitting headache. But yeah, panic-ish thing.
Yeah. That's more than a headache. There's much more there.
Well, they even go on to say that that they're becoming more frequent, that they need to take medication for it.
And they need stronger doses as well.
So, whatever they did to them at Lambda gave them all of these superpowers. That's also probably why they aged so fast, and that's why they're having all of these side effects. Like, you're right. Like, every time I see Norman with them, I'm like, Norman looks like he's 22, and they still look like they look like 8 years have passed, I guess, in a year.
But you do see them age very rapidly.
Look aged. Yeah.
Like, what could this possibly be? Like, but even though they don't want the demons gone, like, we had a chat with them too. We wanted to talk to them before they got to you because they made you act weird. Like, they're good kids. Like, they have real emotions. They care. They're optimistic. But it might be Cicero, I think, thinks of them as, weak. Like, these are weak feelings to be had towards a greater enemy. Like, you're still on our side. Cicero is having doubts, like, you're still with us, right? Like, and he looks at him, and we get a beautiful shot of just entrails, organs, heads, hands, nervous systems of demons that just line the walls, and some of the entrails and the nervous system really just, it made me a little bit queasy.
But we see where they got all of that.
Not Lambda itself, but other research facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is all the information you have from Lambda, like, after breaking in and destroying it. Essentially chaining up these demons. But this is a much younger Barbara. This is a much younger Norman and Zazie. Zazie looks... He doesn't even have his full attire. But also, we see Adam there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Adam at one point was with this group.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was...
At the same time.
Because he broke him out of Lambda. So this happened in the meantime while Emma and them were getting out. But at the same time, Adam did not stay with him. He got captured and went to the hunting lodge, essentially. And he was captured. Like, Adam was captured. So I am really interested on Adam's story. There's not going to be a lot of dialogue, but we can get it expositionally.
Or we could get it just through, like, just show him in a progression. Just like, you don't need to have words. You can just show images, and you can convey a story.
Yeah.
This author and the artist, because I think it's a pair that does Promised Neverland. They have the talent.
Yeah, their conveyance through pictures alone. We've seen it. We've seen it in here as well.
Pictures say 1,000 words.
Oh yeah. And Norman's going after these demons with his path, his plan.
He has no regrets.
I
like that last panel.
Yeah, I would be happy with getting that just as my background. Is Norman is willing to gladly become either a god or a devil, depending on what side really you're on.
And they depict it with him with angelic wings on one side, with his normal face, and then the skeleton,
Yeah, skin and bones.
holding a lantern.
Sorry, not skin
Just
and bones, just bones.
Sorry. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, it's
a great
beautiful
image.
Speaking of good conveyance.
Haha.
Alright.
Alright, so what's your number one?
That leaves just one left. Chainsaw Man. My favorite part of this chapter is they actually let Denji sleep. They're like, hey, wake up. Some people are breaking down, and we found out some more information, so it's time to do something. And they wake him up. Some time has passed. We don't know because time right now is stopped. Kobani had a mental breakdown. Earlier,
We kind of saw
chapter,
that. Yeah.
you saw that. So she just got knocked out. Arai had a little breakdown, but he's still okay. And Aki's been, looking for the devil. He's been going up and down, left and right, every which way.
What about Power?
Yeah, Power.
I want to think of something for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
Normal. Is that how she normally is?
Yes. Like, Power does whatever she wants.
You could say she has the power to do what she wants.
The current squad leader, I'm not quite sure, don't remember her name. Himino. She's leading Power and Denji. Her team, is being kind of useless right now, and she kind of hates that. Because she knows if they're weak enough and useless, they're going to die. But
Yes.
she's not trying to force them. She, takes a quick smoke break just to
But it's her last one.
relax. It's her last one, and she, has a fond inkling for smoking. For some reason, we're getting a flashback into her character and how she is training Aki to be a
They just call them hunters.
huntress.
You can call him a devil hunter, but
Yeah,
for most part, it just says hunter and almost everything. It's like, to be a hunter, you got to do this.
she's teaching Aki some pretty bad
Hey, you should smoke.
bad stuff. Like, hey, you should smoke. It should be something we share.
He has no interest in smoking. He actually tells her no.
Yeah.
It'll rot your bones.
While they're walking, from one job to the next, Himino tells Aki to just get lost, go away. And she goes up to a person that's just walking by. Himino tells Aki to get lost because she has locked eyes with someone in the crowd. And this person in the crowd slaps her right across the face. So much so that bystanders are turning around to look at that. Like, ooh.
But they do nothing.
It's like, oh, that was last subordinate's girlfriend. And because, she was working, line of work, just died.
Mm-hmm.
When you're grieving, you place it on whoever was under their care.
I was going to say who's ever closest associated with the problem
Yeah.
or the incident.
Yeah.
That's like when somebody blames a doctor for somebody dying.
Yeah, it's like they were good.
They did everything they could.
Yeah, but it's still their fault. In which case, Himino just takes it and it's part of the job. Well, Aki doesn't like that, so he puts gum on that girl's clothes. Like, what? It's like, well, she's going to randomly find that she has gum on her clothes, so it's going to be really annoying. Because it pissed me off, so I wanted to pay her back at least something. I'm not going to slap her, but at least this will be something.
A way of getting back at her.
A way to get back at her. She just busts out laughing.
Well, would you really expect somebody to... I just got hit. All right, I'm gonna go put this gum on this person real quick. Hold on.
It's so
Hold my
funny.
beer.
But Himino is again tries to offer him a cigarette and thinks it would look kind of attractive, and it'll give them something to bond over. Like, okay, fine,
I'll take the
I'll give
one.
you one. But
One
that's
time.
one time, and then immediately after, hey, do you have any cigarettes left?
Flash forwarding to now.
Like from one panel to another. Oh, I love it. Like, oh, this is my last one, and I'm already like smoking it. Like, okay, I'll have it. Like I guess I'll give it to you. And she kind of like pouts, like has the mouth pout, and puts it directly to his lips. Denji just immediately says, "Oh, that's a kiss. That's an indirect kiss. That's cheating." Like, shut up. Like, no emotional attachment there. It's just he just wants that nicotine. It could be something else, but we don't know. But Aki
Too early to tell.
has some good news and some bad news. Good news is he's found the devil that Power killed. But
Bad news.
bad news is it's an amalgamation of wretchedness.
And it's getting bigger.
Yeah, and it can talk. It wants to eat
Denji.
alive or dead.
I'll make a contract with you. Let
Yeah.
me make a contract.
Yeah, with humans. Like, let me eat them, like, alive or dead, doesn't matter. Like, if you do this contract, I'll let you all leave. So we get. I'm imagining a very, very squeaky door. Just when
Ah ha 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 ha.
when she opens the door with a knife, like, just let it eat him. Just let him eat Denji.
Come on, Kobina, why do you gotta be like that?
Yeah, you were having a mental breakdown. You kind of still are.
She was knocked out.
Yeah, like
Just conveniently wakes up.
to hear that.
Mhm.
Oh, she's so funny. Around her, the situations are funny that she's placed in. But yeah, the squeaking door just opening, seeing that. That's what I imagined, and the comedy and the seriousness that we're getting in Chainsaw Man is just right up my alley. And that'll just about wrap up this week in Jump number 8. See you next time.